The above-the-line job that interests me is the screenwriter. Being in the digital cinematography class, I tend to focus mostly on the camera side of filmmaking, but to me, the story is even more important. I don't care how amazing the composition of a shot is, or how perfect the camera movement is, if I don't know why I'm watching the movie. That's why the screenwriter is so important. It's their job to provide the story and along with it the blueprint onto which the producer, director, and the rest of the cast and crew can envision the film and begin to bring it to life. A good screenwriter needs to have a solid understanding of narrative and be creative enough to bring to life the characters and their surroundings. Being able to write visually and give in-depth details of what is happening is crucial. Another great skill for a screenwriter to have is the ability to problem solve. Sometimes there are holes in a plot that need to be fixed, and it takes a quick, creative mind to find the solution before a deadline. And perhaps the most important skill of all that a screenwriter can possess is the ability to accept rejection with grace and without giving up the drive to create. The screenwriter that I most admire is Kevin Smith. To me, Kevin writes some of the most relatable and realistic dialogue in film. In Clerks, Mallrats, Dogma, and Chasing Amy, he constantly is able to perfectly nail the types of conversations that 20-something-year-old nerds who think they're cool have. Even when he goes outside of his comfort zone, he can write amazing dialogue. In his newest film, Red State, he wrote a semi-horror movie that still managed to have good, believable conversations and some of the most amazing speeches delivered by Michael Parks. To me, the most inspirational part of Kevin Smith's career is that he has done everything on his own terms. Whether he has a studio behind him or not, he makes the movies that he wants to see, and that is truly what I aspire to do. The below-the-line job that I find most interesting is the editor. The editor is responsible for taking all of the day's shots and putting them together in one continuous piece. The editor is responsible for telling part of the story without using any dialogue. An example would be showing the outside of a house to establish where the following scene takes place. This is just one example of the many visual cues an editor uses to help the audience keep track of what is happening and where. A key skill every editor should have is the ability to create while under pressure. Often there are deadlines that must be met, and the editor needs to be able to get his job done in that time frame. Another good skill to have is a sense of rhythm and timing. A good editor can feel when to switch shots during a conversation to keep the audience's attention, or when to hold a shot to subtly let the audience know that something is important. There aren't many editors that I know of by name, since they are often somewhat of an afterthought to the normal viewing audience, but I chose Michael Condon based solely on the fact that he edited one of my favorite movies of all time, Jurassic Park. After further investigation, I found out that he also edited The Goonies, Poltergeist, and pretty much every Steven Spielberg movie, including every Indiana Jones movie, Saving Private Ryan, and Lincoln. Not too shabby.